In this video we're going to talk about layered groups. Now what layered groups are is they are layers and then they are grouped so that you have, because when you're working with Photoshop you're going to have lots and lots of layers and you'll be scrolling through a lot, and so in order to keep your workspace clean and also to keep it organized, it's a really good idea as you're building things to create groups. So I'm going to show you, I have right here 3 different elements. I have a little pickleball with a planet, like a little logo, and I have a pickleball text with a little gradient overlay, and then I have pickleball or planet.com. And so there are 3 separate items. Now I could just link these and be done with it. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to create a group. So first of all, I'm going to put this where I want it, and then from there I'll go ahead and I'm going to create a group. So now I have these 3 elements, and I'm going to go down here and I'm going to click on the create a new group. So I have created a new group, and you'll see there's a drop down or a arrow that's facing down and then up. I need to add these images into that group. So I'm going to go ahead and click that first layer, and then I'm going to grab the second layer and this layer. Now I've dragged all of these into that group now. Now notice how clean that made all of these layers. And now, instead of calling it group 1, just like layers, you can name it. So I'll call it logo. So in this, now I have this group, which if I click that, then I can move it, and it's just like I have it linked, except for it's just in a group. And it's really easy to keep your layers organized, especially if you name the layers as you do it. You might get in the habit of bringing in images, importing images, and just leaving them default. But I promise you, when you start to design and you get a lot of layers, it gets really confusing on where things are. And to save time and to get in a good habit and best practices, it's a good idea to group your layers. If you have multiple layers that, for example, this is just one image, I'm not going to separate these and move these around, but yet I still have the ability to duplicate a layer. So now I've duplicated it, and I'll drag that outside of the group, and notice now not only do I have, and I didn't bring it out, I've got to make sure it comes up above that, and it doesn't seem to want to play nice. There we go. And now I have a duplicate of just the planet. So if I wanted to do something else down low and still keep my logo the same, now I have my layer there plus my logo. So it's really handy to get in the habit of using groups as you're designing and doing layouts.